Hello, this is Lisa for Holding the Space, and we're here with Candice Wilson. Hello Candice, how are you?
I'm fantastic, thanks Lisa. How's yourself?
Yeah, I'm doing good, and we've known each other for a wee while. And you're a life transformation coach.
Yes, that's my title,
That sounds like a really interesting role to have.
Yeah, I think it is, and it took me a long time to kind of take ownership of that role. But what I did realise, time and time again, I'd be working with people and people would say to me, "You've transformed my life. The work that you have done has transformed my life." And I heard it enough times to make me think that I was working with a coach at the time, and he said, "Well, call yourself a life transformation coach."
Yeah. How did it feel when people are saying that to you?
That's just the most rewarding thing in the world. I mean, it's the most rewarding. What I do, I just love what I do, and it's the most rewarding thing in the world. Seeing people coming to you, feeling desperate, and going away feeling like they can take on the world. That's the most rewarding thing in the world.
I could feel the emotion in your voice when you're talking about it.
It really does. It just gives me so much fire just to see people walking away and having their life back. I had a client this morning, and she says, "When I used to come, before I came to you, I was existing, and now I'm living a life."
Wow.
And that to me means that's what I'm about, and that's what I'm passionate about, helping people transform their own lives.
Okay. And now you mentioned that you've been starting working with people. Was there a particular journey that brought you to the life coaching?
Yeah. I worked for a 20 years now, 21 years I've been in the sort of caring profession, and I worked for a long time, I would say more in an advisory capacity, because that's what I was trained to do and that's what I was taught to do. And somewhere, maybe 7 or 8 years down that line, I'm back on coaching and life coaching, and I become so passionate about that. And when I started working with people in a coaching capacity, and they were getting the answers from within, that was just mind-blowing for me. The impact so quickly that you've seen the difference between advising and coaching, and that's something I've become just very, very passionate about. And it's been a really interesting journey, because on that journey I've kind of learned so many other methods and tools and techniques on the way. So a few years ago I became really interested in the mind and body connection, when I was recognising that what was going on in your mind was affecting our body, and I used Louise Hay, Heal Your Life book. So that was a bit of my Bible, just recognising, seeing the impact of people when we released the emotional cause and what impact that had on the body. So in the latter years I've actually then got more into energy work, so I trained a few years ago in silent counselling, which is like energy psychology, and that's my magic. That is the magic in my toolkit. That's what gives me fire, really gives me fire. So
your whole body's just like come alive there when you mentioned that.
Yeah, I love it, and I want to share it. I want to share it so much, because to see the impact that this has on people, where we can, in energy psychology, it's working with the body's meridians, so it's what we call emotional location points, and very quickly by testing the body, we do it in a way that we call, so we're connecting through thought, and we do muscle testing, and we get the answers telling us what's actually going on for the person. So we might get, we've got fear, and it's connected to your past, something that happened between your 0 and 5, and the client would often be able to identify with what that was, and they, once we release the emotions that are attached to that, the client's free from that burden, and they're able to kind of move on with their life a lot easier. So,
Now I'm smiling when you're talking about that, because I've actually experienced silent counselling with yourself, and I have to say it was quite a phenomenal experience.
Yes.
I've never felt anything like it when I left. And it definitely, there's something to it. Yeah, absolutely something to it.
And I mean, it's that release. It's such a release, and that's what happens. It's when people are released from the energy blocks that are holding them back.
So if someone was to contact you regarding silent counselling, what could they expect within an appointment?
So you could get, so what I do offer is I offer a 45-minute complimentary consultation. So I could show the client in there. I don't test their body because I don't do that until I'm working with them, but I can show them some of the energy points and show them how to manage anxiety, how to embrace change. I could and how to kind of release trust, and what we call bring them back into reversal. Bring them out of reversal and bring them back into polarity. When your body goes into reversal, that's when you behave in ways that are not kind of so much aligned with you. So like a smoker, when they're gone into reversal, they're needing a cigarette. An alcoholic would need a drink. So I would bring you back out of reversal. If you're negative thinking, negative speaking, bring you back out of reversal, and I would be listening to the client and just checking out what it is they need and helping them look at ways that they can move forward and encourage them to come on my 8-week life transformational process if that was right for them.
So if I said it's almost you're encouraging people to listen to their bodies and listen to what is being told to them, but they're maybe not aware of.
Yes, and that is something that's become so important to me. My marriage broke up after 31 years, 3-4 years ago now, and for a long time I was just lost. I felt stuck. I didn't know what way to turn. I had all this toolkit, but I was really struggling. And once I started really embracing the silent counselling and listening to my body, recognising the answers were not outside me, I was looking everywhere else to get that peace and, must meet somebody or something's going to happen and my life's going to change. And when I realised all the answers were within myself, and that was just mind-blowing for me. So that's something I've become really quite passionate about sharing with others, because it's recognising the answers are all within ourselves, and I could give you a toolkit to manage your life, and that's where you can release your own energy, and you could release it on your own.
And you do training for silent counting. I think you've got another one coming up soon.
Yeah, I've got one. We're on our second block of training now, so we've now got another 8 people trained in silent counselling, and that's amazing, the feedback that they're telling me how amazing it is having this toolkit. So I've got another silent counselling training on the 21st of September, and it's a 1-day training in September, and the second one's going to be in late October, early November. I need to get that date clarified, but 2 days training, it's £300, and that's you qualified to be a silent counselling practitioner once you've got your case studies in. So it's a really magical toolkit for very little cost, very little investment. So it's a great training.
And even if from the point of view of self-development and looking to have that skill set for yourself and that coping tool for yourself. Yeah,
absolutely, because you have all the points then you could work on, so you don't necessarily need to be using it as a business, but you could help family, you could help friends. It's just such a nice tool to have. I mean, I've worked with people all my life, for a long time. And not that I don't want to listen to people, because I would want to listen to people, but now because I run programmes in the community, so some people maybe come in and say, I'm really anxious, I don't know if I can do this. Whereas before I would maybe have to sit with them for half an hour and listen to them and talk them through, and then nobody would be running my class. Whereas now I could just give them silent counselling techniques, literally 2 minutes. They're grounded, they're calm, and they're ready to get on with the class. So you just get everything done so much quicker. The releases are so much quicker, people are calmer so much quicker. So yeah, it's a great tool.
You mentioned about the work that you do in the community. I understand that you've had quite a lot of community involvement, especially with the practices that you're offering. So I have a 6-week programme called Creating Balance that runs for 3 hours a week. It's an 18-hour programme, and I run that in the community, often community centres or schools, nurseries, family centres. They'll buy me in to come and deliver that programme. And I've been running that since 2011 now. Oh, wow.
And we've had some fantastic success stories from running that programme. So it's great because you've got the peer support. You've got the peer support, and you're giving them the theory around what's going on for them, and then there's practical support, there's goal setting, and we've had, honestly, I've had hundreds of people whose lives have changed because they've participated in the Creating Balance programme.
So it's not only that person's unique experience, it's also their experience within an organisation or within a community.
Within a community. Peer support has been quite big. I would say peer support is, like people at the beginning realising they're not alone. That has become something that's really quite special. It's like, it's not just me that's feeling this way. So that there's just an openness and a willingness to engage and embrace the process. And when you embrace the process, the results are really, really quite special.
It's almost like I can see you're still quite shocked at the effect that this is having, even on yourself.
8 years down the line, I'm still blown away by when people are coming in and tell me. Like, I had one woman, she was 65 and she believed she couldn't read. She believed she was illiterate. We done some Louise Hay work on her through the Creating Balance programme, and within we delivered a Creating Balance 2, so another 6 weeks, and within that 6 weeks she'd read 5 books.
Wow.
But she thought she couldn't read, and then and so imagine that getting to pension age and think you can't read, and then reading it, and now she's just, any time I see her, she's got a thirst for learning and reading.
So you could say almost she's been given a part of her life back.
Absolutely. Something that she didn't even know what she was missing because she'd never had it. She thought she couldn't read, and that was just a mindset thing. Yeah. And
I understand that you're also an international speaker.
Well, I am, yes. I have. I've done some international work in Norway. I've got connections in Norway, so I was over there earlier this year doing a motivational talk, which was just an amazing experience. And this is my second time over in Norway, and I've had the Norwegian people have been over here twice as well, and I've delivered work to them, speaking and workshops to them.
And that was by invitation, wasn't it? So there must have been.
I was invited over to. There was their annual conference. So schools and kindergarten in Norway. They had their annual conference, and I was invited over to be the motivational speaker for the day. So that was a great. So I also delivered some training to staff as well, some motivational speaking to staff. So.
How did that feel, standing on that stage speaking in another country about techniques that are quite universal? That must have been quite an interesting experience.
Yeah, it was a really interesting experience. It was. It's interesting because for all my life, since I was aware, I suppose, I've thought I couldn't do anything out with Scotland because I've got such a strong Scottish accent. So to get invited to speak in Norway to Norwegians was that was a mindset thing for myself when I first started working with them anyway. But they are the most welcoming, inviting,
innovative.
They have such a lovely relationship with them, so the barriers are down right away. So when you're speaking, it doesn't feel like I'm up on a stage to a strange audience. It just feels like I'm talking to friends and giving them some wisdom. So it was a lovely experience.
Is that how it feels when you are coaching?
Yeah. I've had a few people, some of my feedback people have said it feels like I'm talking to a friend that's got wisdom. That's maybe where that's come from, And I do like to, I've heard every kind of story you could imagine, and I'd like to think that clients can come to me and they could just be open, knowing that I'm non-judgmental, that they can trust that I'm honest, that I'm open and approachable. That's the ethos I would, and I'm down to earth. I'm down to earth. I'm just who I am. But it's important to me that clients feel as comfortable as they can when they come and trust that what goes on in this room stays in this room.
Now, earlier this year, you did a Wake Up 2019, Ignite the Fire Within. Yeah. I'm very intrigued by that title. I must admit it sparks a lot of imagination in me. Yeah, when we thought of that title for it, was a seminar, and I had launched my business earlier. October last year, I had launched. My business again. I had a bit of a launch, and I had lots of interest. And not necessarily everybody that could come and purchase a programme, but they were really interested in what I was doing and supportive. And it made me think about doing something that was quite affordable in the community, bringing the community together. I also had a lot of people I was coaching that had just started their own businesses, and I had a lot of people who were looking for support. So I had a kind of idea of let's bring
everybody together. So we had some workshops, we had 7 or 8 workshops actually, and then people could choose what workshops, and then we had speaking, and we had a really packed programme seminar, but with 100 people turn up, 100 people came away, and it was just a mind-blowing, it was amazing. And people yet says to me, that day changed my life. I get that said to me a number of times.
Wow.
People